Now, when I was a kid, when you'd watch cartoons, when you'd see movies, everything was really all over the place at the time. And in basically speaking about the Ninja Turtles, if you wanted to watch the cartoon, you had to be home at a specific time or have the VCR set to record, which didn't really happen all the time. The Mirage comic book, when I was a kid, went a little bit over my head once in a while, right? I think it was a little bit too adult for me at the time. But the Archie Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventure series was my jam. And I could not be happier to finally have NECA Toys doing the Archie series for the Ninja Turtles. And the first figure, of course, is Slash. And that is my favorite character from the original TMNT Adventures. And the box art is superb. You have Ken Mitroni's art all over it. Slash with his little palm tree right there. He finally got it on the back of the packaging. Really nice photos of the character of Slash. Just looks great. And of course, more to come. Man Ray, Jaguar, Dreadmon. The latter two, they never made figures of. And I could not be happier. But, oh God, it brings back so many things. No, it's happening again. Anyways, here's everyone involved with the creation of this figure. Thank you very much for this. And of course, here is the barcode as well. Now, this was provided by NECA Toys, so thank you very much for sending this out. But he has also started to show up at Walmart stores, so be on the lookout starting now. And in going back to TMNT Adventures. Now, Slash was a vastly different character from what you saw. From the action figure to video games to just the general idea of the cartoon Slash being kind of like a Dumbo, you know what I mean? This was a dangerous Slash, and he was cool, and he had a black bandana, and he had Wolverine blades, and he saved Krang from his exile on planet Morbus. And in this comic, Slash was just a regular dude that got a bum deal. His entire homeworld, filled with palm trees, Palmadice, was destroyed. And he eventually met up and fought the Ninja Turtles. He also joined the Mutanimals at one point. The awesome Mutanimals. Looking forward to those figures. And he found true happiness on the Mutanimals island. However, it was short-lived because, unfortunately, due to the time stream and messing it up because of Null and Maligna, the Mutanimals were murdered. It's very traumatizing as a kid, and you felt bad for Slash. Now, this comic right here is one of the greatest comic book covers ever. I absolutely love this cover. But Slash and all the Turtles and the future Turtles and Splinter go to Maligna's headquarters. They kill Skull and Bean. They kill Maligna. And unfortunately, Slash dies in the process. However, I always thought he got teleported out right at the last minute. Fingers crossed, right? But in either case, this is going to be just an absolute blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new The Archie Comics TMNT Adventures Series, issue number 1, figure number 1, Slash by NECA Toys. And of course, when you've slashed open the package and pulled old Slash out, well, here's everything that comes in the package. And you do get some nice accessories in pure Ninja Turtle fashion. You get a couple extra hands. It's the basic green, which is really nice. And there's some accents of the black paint to invoke the comic book look. He does come with this weapon. It's painted nicely. I do not remember this type of weapon. I don't remember Slash using it ever. It's just totally escapes me. If it did, let me know. But as far as I know, this right here, the Chris weapon, was the only weapon I ever saw him with besides his blades. And I like how they utilized the white and the blue to kind of give it that metallic comic book sheen. And of course, he holds it very, very well. And that is Slash to me right there. Very nice looking weapon. Very well done. Now, with Slash himself, you kind of figure how this video is going to go. I'll save you all the time in the world. If you're a big fan of the Archie series or Slash, this is the greatest Slash figure ever made. Down to the comic book hatch marks of the black right there. You got a little bit of pink showing for his gums. You got the people's eyebrow kind of eye, bigger eye, kind of evoking the old Playmates toy version. You have a little bit of that blue mixed with the white on his belts. Kind of, sort of, it goes back and forth. He mostly had a brown belt. It just varied on who was drawing it, but I like his armored plating. You got the black marks amidst that really cool comic book blue. Be careful around the blades. The blades are really nicely done. However, when you do put his hands in, just be very, very careful. You don't want to actually push too hard and slide your hand and knock one of the blades out, because I'm going to say they're very brittle, so just be careful. You know what I mean? Now, with the various comic book hatch marks all over him, they're really well done and they're really well placed. All of the paint is pretty much perfect on this guy. I think the only hiccups I would say is around the belts where the blue meets the white. You got the brown pieces hanging down from his belt right there. He has peg holes on the bottom of his feet. It's just overall the epitome of Slash, what I would expect. He's got pouches galore. He's got his big old spiked back right here on his shell, which, yes, he is a reuse of Toka from the cartoon series. He has his tail. He's got the spikes on his knee pads. Everything works on this figure. It's just, boom, hands down. This is exactly what I wanted all these years. Now, in terms of the articulation, you'll get some good swivel out of the head, mostly looking up, down, left, and right. He does have some bandana swivel. If you're interested, you can move it to and fro. This is one of those figures. I'm going to tell you, just like normal for most NECA figures, it kind of goes either way sometimes. Heat this guy up. The only problem, the only thing that I had left on this guy was in the arms, where this side, I got it to move, but the other side, no bueno. The legs, though, once you heat it up, you got them going. In some instances, yeah, like some instances, though, they still kind of went back to being kind of hard to move around. The feet, no problem. However, none of the joints are loose, so that's a good thing. Kind of the way Super 7 kind of has their figures sometime. It's kind of better to have stuck joints than the really floppy ones, you know what I mean? But what's really cool is that within the box itself, you have this really nice stylized artwork that is exactly the backdrop from where they took this particular Slash from. It is straight from the comic book, and it just looks glorious. I could not be happier with this guy. Reading these old issues, having this figure after all these years, you can hear the excitement in my voice. Thank you so much, NECA, for making this series. Now, do you think I have enough Slash figures in my collection? Yeah, but this was the one I've been waiting years and years to get. Now, every single Slash here is great, but the Archie one definitely takes the cake for what I love. And like I said, this particular Slash figure does share a lot of the body traits that the cartoon Toka does. You can see the various shells and whatnot. Just parts and pieces have been swapped out. And as far as getting an Archie set of turtles, yeah, I wouldn't mind some more, let's say, on model to the various Archie artists. You know what I mean? But if you have this most recent expression pack from the cartoon Turtles, it pretty much works. I mean, these are the Archie Turtles incarnate, so it definitely works in that sense. Also, in terms of Krang, in their first meeting on Morbus, if you have Krang from the Bubble Walker or the Android body, that works as well. Now, one accessory that I'm going to say I thought was missing is a palm tree for Slash. I think that Slash definitely needed it, but if you have the cartoon one, then you have a palm tree. So it definitely works. But instead of that other weapon, I would have preferred a palm tree. Maybe an extra head. That would have been cool as well. So you kind of figured where this video was going to go. I absolutely love this figure. I'm totally on board for the Archie series. Maligna, Skull and Bean, Null, make all the characters from the Archie comic series, all the weirdo ones. That's why that comic series was an absolute blast. So you have heard my thoughts. Now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything Slash. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food. But most importantly, remember, again, this can't be beat. I love this. And one day, my high hopes is that the real Ghostbusters in all their cartoon glory get the same attention and detail as these Ninja Turtle Adventures cartoon and whatnot. NECA is just killing it. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.